Hi, I'm Donna Hunt, and I'm at the Hope Gardens on Robbins Air Force Base in Central Georgia. This past April, I was in the first graduating class of the Horticulture Therapy program at the University of Florida, and the driving force behind it was Lee Deal. If you don't know Lee, you will by the end of this conference because she's one of the presenters. Now, this garden was actually abandoned several years ago, and it became a jungle. In 2019, I completed the Master Gardener course and needed a project, so I came out here and took it over, and it was a mess. Luckily, thanks to a lot of friends and volunteers, we got it to where it is today. Well, one of the things that was also happening at the same time is Robbins Air Force Base has one of the highest suicide rates of any military installation in the world. So the resilience program was tasked with trying to find something to help because nothing else was working. I raised my hand. I said, how about horticulture therapy or therapeutic horticulture? And they loved the idea. And now we've been doing a couple of horticulture therapy or therapy horticulture programs here at the garden. As a matter of fact, in the beginning of July, we're going to have 2 programs with the base psychologist. One's a support group for women, and another one is a grief support. But in the meantime, we've done yoga out here. We do wingman activities out here, and what that means is we're teaching units how to spot potential trouble spots for people for suicide. And so they're called wingmen. So we come out here, we kind of do a I don't know how you call it, we just kind of morale boosting activities out here.
Awesome.
Now as you see, this was the memorial when it was first built in 1977. And originally it was to honor all the military and civilians that died during that year. Well, in 2016, because of security reasons, we could no longer hold that particular memorial here on base because not everybody was allowed access. So they moved it to an off-base facility. So then I came along and I said, I want to make something here for the airmen and the civilian workers here that takes them out of the military environment. So you will not see anything that looks military. You're not going to see anything red, white, and blue here. So when you come to this garden, you're kind of coming out of the military world and into something more peaceful, which horticulture therapy and therapeutic horticulture is known for. Over here, we are just installing the children's gardens. And according to statistics, the military child is about 70% more likely to have stress issues and behavior issues, and that's a lot of that's because the parent, both mother and father, could deploy at the same time. And I was a military brat myself, and by the time I was in high school, I had been to 8 different schools, and some of those schools were overseas. So it's the military child is very stressful because they're going to different locations, to different schools, and their parents might not be there with them. So what we did is we did 1-foot square gardens for them. And we have 2 of these beds. Each bed holds approximately 60 squares. And the plan is during the year we'll have different activities for the military child to come out here and learn about bees and maybe do some exercises. And we're still working that program out. One of the things I'm really proud of, one of my Master Gardener buddies did, it's called a tackle. I didn't know what the real name of this thing is. It's basically a board with a hole in it. I think we've all seen them. So if anybody wants to know what a tackle is, this is what it is. And toward the back, it's still a little bit messy, and I'm not going to take the time right now to show it to you because we're right now in the weedy season. So later on I'd be happy to show you the rest of it. But we do have a rose garden in the back. We have a gazebo area. And we're putting in a couple of other little surprises. And I say surprises because I'm not even really sure what we're going to be doing with this garden. It's about 3 acres big. And we've been doing all kinds of stuff. We just did one on chronic illnesses. And we're slated, when the weather gets a little bit better, to have more yoga, Tai Chi, and that sort of thing out here. One of the things that most horticulture gardens don't have, or horticulture therapy gardens don't have, is the jets flying over. So sometimes if you hear one, that's what it is, because we are on a base that fixes planes. So we have a lot of planes in the air at one time. So out here, it's been a challenge, it's been fun, but I appeal to all the seasoned horticulture therapists out there to remember the military members and their families, because I know there's a lot of horticulture activities geared toward the veterans and PTSD, and that's great, it's wonderful, and it's really needed. However, those activities are off base. This garden is geared to the active duty family, and to the civilian workers. Like I said, with a suicide rate of the highest, and our last 4 suicides this year were all people who teleworked. So there's something to be said about that. But anyway, this is my garden, and if you have any suggestions, please send it to me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm brand new to this, but enthusiastic. Thank you.